أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. In the Holy Quran, Allah Ta'ala has given us 700 commandments to follow. The Ummah of Musa والسلام, were given around 612 commandments, give or take. But the Ummah of Muhammad وسلم, has been given 700 injunctions, 700 directives to follow in the Holy Quran. Hazrat Masih Maud والسلام, the promised Messiah, Imam Mahdi, who was sent by Allah the Almighty in this day and age to guide us, to reform us, to bring us back to Allah's path, to the deen of Allah. He has stated that one who leaves even one of these commandments out shuts the door of salvation upon himself. कुरान में 700 अहकाम अल्लाह ताला ने बयान किए. मसीह मौद अलैहिस्सलाम बयान करते हैं जो इन 700 में से एक हुक्म की भी नाफरमानी करता है, एक को भी छोड़ता है, वो अपने हाथ से अपने मुंह पे जो निजात है उसका दरवाजा बंद करता है. From time to time, there are certain directives that I talk about. I talk about salat, I talk about janda, I talk about zakat, I talk about being good towards one another, I talk about the rights of parents on their children. I've also spoken about rights of children on their parents. I've spoken on many other issues. I've spoken about marital harmony. I've spoken about domestic abuse. So different issues that Holy Quran has addressed. From time to time, I address these topics. But there are certain topics that are discussed more than the other topics because of their significance in our Jamaat and in our day-to-day lives. Today, being no exception, I want to take up an issue and I want to address it head on. The things that I'm going to be sharing today are taken directly from the addresses of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Hazrat al-Muslim Maud, and I'll give you the references as we go along. But right off the bat, there needs to be not a disclaimer, but more so of a point of clarity. That when I address these points, when I address these issues, sometimes I receive the feedback that why are you talking about this issue and why not some other issue? Or why is it that you're speaking, in a stern tone when you're addressing a specific issue? Or why is it that you're not presenting the same issue with more lenient side to it? But the thing is, my job is not to present anything leniently or harshly. My job is to present whatever is the reality. And my job is to take whatever the khulafa of our Jamaat have given us in their literature and present it to you. Once, I believe Hazrat Muslim radiallahu ta'ala anhu mentioned that the job of a Murrabi, that the job of a missionary, or the role of a missionary, can be compared to that of a loudspeaker. The loudspeaker itself does not serve any purpose. Its real purpose is to amplify the sound which is made by the person holding that loudspeaker. And in this case, Khalifa is the one who holds the loudspeaker, and Murabbi is that loudspeaker whose job is to then amplify the message of the Khalifa. So today I want to address this issue that sometimes it becomes a touchy topic and we don't want to address it. This topic has to do with how we approach financial sacrifice. Once I was speaking with one of the members in our Jamaat, and he shared something which was very beautiful. And it really resonated with me. I was speaking about Chanda in general sense, not because this specific member was behind in Chanda, but just because I wanted to, get his feedback on this particular issue. And this person replied to me saying, Murabbi Sahab, Chanda is not one of the things that hold me back. Chanda is not my anchor. Chanda is not holding me back from doing anything good. Everyone has some sort of an anchor which holds them back in one form or another. For some, it is their family, which becomes the anchor and they're not able to come forward and serve the religion of Allah. For some, it is their status. For some, it is their time. For some, it is their money. Different individuals have different anchors. But this individual told me that his anchor is definitely not money. He said as much money is required by Jamaat, he is willing to part with that money of his free will and accord. So it got me thinking. It got me thinking that for this individual, money was not an issue. What could be the issue for other people due to which they are reluctant in paying Chanda? So when I was making my research into this topic, I came across a sermon or an address by Hazrat Muslim Maud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, which he delivered at the Majlis al-Mushawrat of 1948. 1948, more than 70, 72 years ago, Hazrat Muslim Maud radiallahu ta'ala anhu made this address, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with all of you today. In this, Hazur talks about a certain pattern which is observed in certain Jamaats. Hazur said, this is in Urdu, so I will read it in Urdu, and then as I go along, I will try to summarize it in English for our English audience as well. Hazur तारीफ फरमाते हैं, चंदा लेने के मुतालिक सदर अंजुमन अहमदिया भरपूर कोशिश नहीं करती। हजूर फरमाते हैं कि इस सिलसिले में कहा गया है कि चंदा लेने के मुतालिक सदर अंजुमन अहमदिया भरपूर कोशिश नहीं करती, और जो लोग चंदा देने में सुस्त हैं या कतई तौर पर चंदा नहीं देते, उनको कोई सजा नहीं दी जाती। हजरत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम ने खुले अल्फाज में ऐसे लोगों के मुतालिक सजा मुकर्रर फरमाई है, और जब एक ताज़ीर उसके लिए मुकर्रर है तो हम क्यों उसका निफाज नहीं कर सकते। हजरत मसीह मऊद अलैहिस्सलाम ने फरमाया है कि जो शख्स 3 महीने तक चंदा नहीं देता, उसे जमात से खारिज कर दिया जाए। इस सजा के निफाज में मुश्किल ही कौन सी है। अगर 2 करोड़ नहीं 2 अरब आदमी भी हमारे साथ ऐसा शामिल हो जाता है जो दर हकीकत हमारा नहीं, तो उनके अलग होने से हमें क्या सदमा हो सकता है। जमात वही है जो जिंदा हो, जो जिंदा नहीं वो जमात कहलाने की मुस्तहिक नहीं। Hazrat Muslim Maud radiallahu anhu has stated that oftentimes it is heard that people say that Sadr Anjuman, referring to the Jamaat, that Jamaat is not making full effort when it comes to collecting chanda from the members. And those who show laziness in paying chanda, or those who flat out refuse to pay chanda whatsoever, why is it that Jamaat does not punish them? Why isn't there any Tazili Karbat? Hazrat Muslim Razilah then stated, the promised Messiah والسلام, himself has put in place this directive. Some people say, why is it that then we are not uh, carrying out the verdict of Hazrat Masih Maud? The verdict is a member of Jamaat who claims to be a member of this Jamaat of promised Messiah Islam and then does not pay his chanda or her chanda for 3 months at a time shall be expelled from this Jamaat. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani says, what difficulty do we face in implementing and executing this directive of the promised Messiah? If there were 20 million members or even 200 million members in our Jamaat who who fall under this category of non-payers of chanda. If we were to expel them from Nizam-e Jamaat, it would not hurt Nizam-e Jamaat one bit because such individuals were never with us to begin with. Those people who have no pain of Jamaat in their heart and they are refusing to pay chanda for the progress of Jamaat, they are like dead people and are not worthy to be considered as part of Jamaat because only those people can be considered as part of Jamaat who are alive. एक जमात निहायत मुखलिस कहलाती है, मैं उसका नाम नहीं लेता, अखबारों में बाज दफा उसका नाम खूब उछलता है कि अस्साबिकून अल अव्वलून में शामिल होने का सवाब इस जमात ने हासिल कर लिया है। अगर होता क्या था? होता ये था कि पहले तो उन्होंने बढ़ चढ़कर वादे कर देने, अगर इसके बाद साल हा साल एक पैसा भी चंदे में ना देना, फिर कभी ख्याल आता तो एक दिन ओहदेदार बैठ जाते और लिखते, हजूर हमें आज मालूम हुआ है कि पिछले 5 साल से हमारी जमात ने कोई चंदा नहीं दिया। इस खबर के मालूम होने पर जमात को बुलाया गया और उसको खूब डांटा गया। हजूर वो सब के सब रोए और चीखे और चिल्लाए और सबके अंदर सच्ची नदामत पैदा हो गई। उस वक्त हमने कहा, पिछला चंदा हम तुमको माफ कर देते हैं, मगर देखना आइंदा एहतियात से काम लेना। चुनाचे उन्होंने खूब रो रो कर तौबा की और अब उनका तौबा नामा हजूर की खिदमत में भिजवाया जा रहा है। उम्मीद है कि हजूर भी पसंद फरमाएंगे। आइंदा जमात चंदा देने में बिल्कुल बाकायदा रहेगी। इस तौबानामे के बाद फिर इस तौबानामे के बाद फिर 5 साल तक वो जमात खामोश रहती और कोई चंदा न देती। 4-5 साल के बाद फिर उसकी तरफ से खत आ जाता कि हजूर हमें आज मालूम हुआ है कि जमात ने फिर पिछले 4-5 साल से कोई चंदा नहीं दिया। हजूर हमने जमात को बुलाया और उसे वाज किया। इसका जमात पर बहुत असर हुआ कि उसकी चीखें निकल गईं और अब सब रोए और चिल्लाए, मगर हजूर ये देखकर कि पिछला बकाया बहुत ज्यादा है और अब उसके अदा करने की जमात में ताकत नहीं, हमने कहा लो तुम्हें पिछला चंदा मुआफ करते हैं, अब आगे बकायदा चंदा देते रहना। हजूर फरमाते हैं 25 साल गुजर गए, उस जमात का यही हाल है कि पिछला मुआफ और अगला साफ। बात यह है कि शिर्क इंसान को खराब करता है। लोग डरते हैं कि अगर हमने फलां को सजा दी तो वो जमात से निकल जाएगा और इससे काम खराब हो जाएगा। लेकिन जो सच्चा खुदा परस्त हो वो इन बातों की परवाह नहीं करता। वो जानता है कि खुदा का बंदा अकेला आता है और अकेला जाता है। हजरत मसीह मऊद अलैहिस्सलाम ने भी कहा है कि अगर लोग तुम्हारी बात नहीं मानते तो कपड़े झाड़ो और एक गांव से दूसरे गांव को चले जाओ। इस तरह जमात में शामिल रहने के बाद अगर कुछ लोग चंदा नहीं देते तो तुम बेशक उनको अलग कर दो, उनके साथ रहने का फायदा ही क्या है। Hhazrat Muslim Maud Raziallahu anhu stated, without naming a specific Jamaat, who said that this Jamaat, regarding them, it would appear in Jamaat's literature that they are of those who come forward to present sacrifice first and foremost. But the real condition upon investigation was that people would pledge something that they would play and that they would pay, and then 5 years would go on, and not a single dime would come from that Jamaat towards Jannah. For Jannah, not a single dime would come. And after 5 years would have passed, some office holders would find out, and then they would sit with the Jamaat and they would admonish them, and then the members of the Jamaat would cry and they would say, "We seek repentance, we seek, Allah Ta'ala's forgiveness, and we promise that going forward we will pay our chanda." But when the office holders will tell them, "Okay, fine, we forgive you whatever you were not able to do in the past, but make sure you fix this issue moving forward." As you said, another 5 years would go by and this Jamaat would still not pay chanda. And at the end of next 5 years, again the office holders would wake up, would talk to these people, and then respond to Khalifatul Masih that Hazur, we spoke with these people and they sincerely repented, and we hope that they will, inshallah ta'ala, pay up their chanda moving forward. But please excuse them from past chanda. Hazur said, this has been going on for 25 years and they have not paid a single cent. 25 years. Hazur said, it is shirk which messes people up, which scares people. People think that if someone is punished in Jamaat, if someone is punished in one way or another for breaking one of the rules or guidelines of the Jamaat, then that person might leave Jamaat. And if that person would leave Jamaat, then Jamaat would be hurt. As we said, this is shirk, to think like that. This is the Jamaat of Allah Ta'ala. A person comes in this world alone and he will leave by himself. From his Messiah Islam has said this in plain terms, that if someone does not listen to your words, do not waste your time, pick your bags, move on to another village. हजूर फरमाते हैं हजूर फरमाते हैं सिंध जाने से पहले एक जमात के मुतल्लिक जो बड़ी भारी जमात है, मुझे इत्तला मिली कि इसके अफराद आपस में लड़ते रहते हैं और 5-6 महीने के बाद मरकज को लिख देते हैं कि हमारी तरफ कोई इंस्पेक्टर भिजवाएं। अंजुमन इंस्पेक्टर भिजवा देती है, मगर वो फिर अपने झगड़ों से बाज नहीं आते। इसी दौरान में एक शख्स का खत आया कि 5 साल से इस जमात ने चंदा नहीं दिया। अंजुमन ने कहा, हम इस जमात में अपना मुबल्लिग भेजते हैं ताकि उन्हें इस्लाह की तरफ तवज्जो दिलाए। मैंने कहा, मेरा हुक्म ये है कि मुबल्लिग बेशक जाए, मगर पहले उनसे ये कहे कि या तो पिछले 5 साल का चंदा दो और या तुम सब के सब जमात से अलग कर दिए जाओगे। इसके बाद मैं सिंध चला गया। अब मुझे इतला मिली है कि उस जमात की तरफ से 1050 रुपया चंदा आया है, हालांकि 5 साल से उसने एक पैसा नहीं दिया था। आखिर हर जमात में कुछ न कुछ मुखलिस भी होते हैं। उन्हें जब मालूम हुआ कि अगर अब भी हमने इस्लाह न की तो हमें जमात से अलग कर दिया जाएगा, तो उन्होंने चंदा दे दिया। इस पर हमारा फर्ज है कि हम मजबूत निगरानी रखें और जो लोग अपनी इस्लाह की तरफ तवज्जो नहीं करते उनके मुताल्लिक रिपोर्ट की जाए, ताकि सिलसिला उनके जमात से अलग करने का फैसला करे। आखिर जो बेकार वजूद है उसे हमने अपने साथ लटका कर क्या करना है। Hazrat Khalifa Sani Razila Talano then mentioned that he received a message from one specific Jamaat, that this specific Jamaat had not paid Chanda in years, and they were requesting that a missionary be sent, a Murrabi be sent towards them who would then admonish them. Hazur said, sure, a missionary would be sent, but my directive is that that missionary would first ask them to pay their Chanda dues that they have had for the last 5 years. Until that happens, the missionary is not going to address them. As a result of this, the Jamaat understood the importance and they paid more than 1,050 rupees towards Chanda that they had not paid in 5 years. Further along, Hazur then gives the example of placing your trust in Allah Ta'ala and not on people. हजूर ने फिर खुदा के ऊपर तवक्कुल और खुदा से उम्मीद बांधने के बारे में बात करते हुए एक मिसाल दी। हजूर बयान करते हैं, अगर कोई इंसान गलती से हमारी तरफ आ गया है और दर हकीकत वो हमारा नहीं, तो हमने उसको अपने पास रखकर क्या करना है। डाक बाज दफा गलत तौर पर भी तकसीम हो जाती है, मगर क्या ऐसी सूरत में हम दूसरे का खत अपने पास रख लेते हैं? हम दूसरे की चिट्ठी अपने पास नहीं रखते, बल्कि उसे वापस कर देते हैं। इसी तरह अगर गलती से कोई शख्स हमारे पास आ जाता है, फरिश्तों ने उसका नाम हमारी जमात में नहीं लिखा, तो तुम्हारा काम ये है कि तुम उसे वापस करो। जब तुम वापस करोगे तो तुम्हारी चीज तुम्हें मिल जाएगी। टॉकिंग अबाउट certain people who enter Jamaat or who are born in Jamaat, who call themselves MD, but then are not willing to take part in the Chanda of our Nizam Chanda of our Jamaat or in other activities of our Jamaat. Hazur says that they are compared to a misplaced letter. A letter that does not belong to you ends up on your door. What do you do with it? Do you keep it or do you return it? Of course, you return it. And same is the case with people who do not belong in this Jamaat, and the angels of Allah Ta'ala do not count them as members of this Jamaat. So what do? You return them to where they came from. पुराने बुजुर्गों के वाकयात में हमें इसकी मिसालें मिलती हैं। एक बुजुर्ग थे, वो मजलिस में बैठे थे, एक शख्स उनके पास आया, उन्होंने 31 रुपए 10 आने उससे बतौर कर्ज लिए थे और उस कर्ज की अदायगी में देर हो गई थी। मजलिस में आकर उस शख्स ने तकाजा किया कि मेरा कर्ज मुझे अदा किया जाए, मुझे इस वक्त रुपए की सख्त जरूरत है। उन्होंने कहा ठीक है, मैंने कर्ज लिया हुआ है और मैं इंशाल्लाह जल्दी अदा करने की कोशिश करूंगा। उस शख्स ने कहा मैं इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह नहीं जानता, मैं उठूंगा नहीं जब तक आप मुझे रुपया ना दे दें। और फिर उसने बदगोई शुरू कर दी कि ये बुजुर्ग बना फिरता है, लेकिन ऐसा बेईमान और बददियानत है कि रुपया लेता है और फिर अदा करने का नाम ही नहीं लेता। वो चुप करके बैठे रहे। आखिर गलती उन्हीं की थी, उन्होंने कर्ज लिया था, उसको वापस करने का भी फिक्र करना चाहिए था। मगर अभी थोड़ी देर ही गुजरी थी कि एक शख्स आया और उसने कहा फलां रईस ने ये रकम आपको तोहफे के तौर पर भिजवाई है। उन्होंने गिनी तो 25-26 रुपए थे। उन्होंने वो रकम लपेट कर उसे वापस कर दी और कहा कि ये मेरी नहीं होगी, किसी और की होगी। उसने लेते ही कहा ओहो, मुझसे गलती हो गई, आपकी रकम तो इस जेब में है। और जब उसने वो रकम निकाली तो वो आनों समेत उतनी ही थी जितनी वो शख्स मांगता था। अब देखो, जब उनके पास एक गलत रकम पहुंची तो वो उन्होंने रख नहीं ली। वो जानते थे कि खुदा ताला को मेरे मुतल्लिक गैरत है, और वो ये भी जानते थे कि अब जबकि मुझे मजलिस में जलील किया गया है, खुदा मेरे मुतल्लिक अपनी गैरत जरूर दिखाएगा। और वो ये भी जानते थे कि मेरा कर्जा 31 रुपए 10 आने हैं, इसलिए जब उनको 26 रुपए मिले उन्होंने वो रकम वापस कर दी, क्योंकि वो समझते थे कि ये मेरी रकम नहीं हो सकती। अगर मेरी रकम होती तो 31 रुपए 10 आने भी, तो 31 रुपए 10 आने होती जिसकी मुझे जरूरत थी। और जब उन्होंने 26 रुपए वापस किए तो उन्हें 31 रुपए 10 आने भी मिल गए। और वो जवान और वो जो उनको ठग और बददियानत कह रहा था, उसको भी खुदा ने उनकी बुजुर्गी का निशान दिखा दिया। अगर 26 रुपए वो रख लेते तो शायद कर्जा खा 26 रुपए लेकर चला जाता। मगर हर शख्स ये समझता कि ये एक इत्तफाकी मामला है। मगर उन्होंने 26 रुपए वापस किए और जब वापस किए तो उन्हें 31 रुपए 10 आने मिल गए। इसलिए अगर जमात में कोई ऐसा शख्स दाखिल हुआ है जो हमारा नहीं, तो उसे वापस करो। लोगों का जूता बदल जाता है तो कोई बेईमान ही होता है जो किसी दूसरे का अच्छा जूता पहन कर आ जाता हो, वरना हर शरीफ आदमी आवाज देता है कि मेरा जूता बदल गया है। जो शख्स गलती से मेरा जूता ले गया है वो अपनी चीज ले जाए और मेरी चीज दे जाए। Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Radhiyallahu anhu gave this beautiful example of a saint who had borrowed 31 rupees and few cents from an individual. And this individual one day came to him and said in front of people, I need my money back. So the Sufi saint said, I'll return it to you as soon as possible, inshallah. The man said, I'm not interested in inshallah, inshallah. I will not leave from here today until you pay me my amount back. So the Sufi saint sat down quietly. At that time, when this man was bad mouthing the Sufi saint, Allah Ta'ala sent a man. This man came and he said that a Rais or a rich man from such and such area has sent this amount for you as a token, as a gift. So when the Sufi saint opened it up, it turned out to be 26 rupees, not 31 rupees 10 cents or some cents. So Sufi saint did not keep it. It was the wrong amount. He returned it. And as soon as he returned it, the man said, my bad, I made a mistake. Your amount was actually in my other pocket. So he reached to his other pocket and then gave that amount to the Sufi man. Sufi, when he opened it up, it was exactly 31 rupees and the number of cents that he owed the man sitting in front of him. Hazur then made this point that had the Sufi, this Muslim Sufi man, had he not returned the wrong amount and had he kept it, then the person sitting in front of him would have walked away with 26 rupees. But everyone would have thought that this was just a coincidence. But when that Sufi saint returned the wrong amount, and in turn, the other person presented him with the exact amount that this Muslim Sufi saint owed to the person in front of him, this hit two birds with one stone. Number one, it created or it showed to everyone present, including that young man who was bad mouthing this Sufi saint, that this was indeed a sign showed in the favor of this person, this man of God. And number two, it reflects the tawakkul that this man of God had in his Allah, that Allah would come for him. The lesson from this story that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Thani wants us to learn is that which is not Jamaat's return. So those individuals who, despite many, many reminders, do not pay any heed, then their case ultimately gets reported to Huzur and then Huzur ultimately decides. On that note, I want to end by talking about an institution in our Jamaat which Allah has blessed Islam with after 1400 years, which is intertwined with the Nizam of Jamaat. Hazrat Khalifatul Sisani Razilatala in one place says that we are that blessed community that has been endowed with the blessed institution of Nizam-e-Shura. Nizam-e-Shura, which existed at the time of Holy Prophet ﷺ in some shape or form, and eventually was given its proper shape during the time of Khilafat Rashida, left this world. And more than 1,000 or 1,300 years had passed, and then it was re-established in this world through Nizam-e-Khilafat in Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya. So, regarding the importance of Majlis al-Shura, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Thani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, in his Friday sermon of 17th April 1959, this was perhaps one of the last Friday sermons that Hazrat Khalifa Thani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu might have delivered. In Khutbat-e-Mahmud, so far Khutbat-e-Mahmud goes up to volume number 39. And this is the last sermon in the last volume of Khutbat-e-Mahmud. Anyways, Hazrat Muslim Maud Razilatala anhu, while talking about the importance of Majlis-e-Shura, states, Majlis-e-Shura में शमूलियत तो ऐसी चीज है कि दोस्त इस पर जितना भी फख्र कर सकें कम है. हम तो देखते हैं कि दुनियावी पार्लियामेंटों के मेंबर भी इजलास में से बाहर नहीं जा सकते. चुनाचे इंग्लिस्तान की पार्लियामेंट का ये कायदा है कि अगर कोई मेंबर किसी जरूरी काम की वजह से इजलास से बाहर जाना चाहे तो वो उस वक्त तक बाहर नहीं जा सकता जब तक कि वो हिज़्ब मुखालिफ का एक आदमी भी अपने साथ ना ले जाए. हमारे यहाँ तो चूंकि कोई फरीक मुखालिफ होता ही नहीं, इसलिए इस कानून को मद्देनजर रखते हुए हमारा कोई मेंबर इजलास से बाहर जा ही नहीं सकता. While stressing on the importance of Majlis al-Shura, Hazrat Muslim Maud Razilatala anhu says that the system in place in the parliaments of the world is as such that if a person has to leave during the session of the parliament, he is not allowed until he is able to take one of the members of the opposing party. And since in our Jamaat there is no such concept of opposing party, Hence, nobody during the sessions of Majlis Shura is allowed to take leave. Remember, Hazur is talking about the significance of Majlis Shura. Hazur then stated, बहरहाल जब दुनिया की अंजुमनों में इतनी सख्ती की जाती है तो जो अंजुमनें दीन की खिदमत के लिए बनाई जाती हैं उनमें तो बहुत ज्यादा कवायद का एहतराम होना चाहिए और उनमें शमूलियत को बहुत ज्यादा अहम समझना चाहिए। दर हकीकत इस शुरा की मेंबरी दुनिया की कई बादशाहतों से भी बड़ी है और जिसको शुरा की मेंबरी नसीब हो जाती है वो दुनिया के कई बादशाहों से भी ज्यादा इज्जत हासिल कर लेता है क्योंकि शुरा के मेंबरों को यह भी इख्तियार दिया गया है कि वो आइंदा खलीफा का इंतखाब करें। वो उसकी नुमाइंदगी के कवायद मुख्तलिफ हैं। Hazrat Khalifa Sani Razilullah Ta'ala then goes on to explain that look, the significance of Shura is as such that one who becomes a member of this Majlis Shura holds greater significance in the eyes of Allah Ta'ala than that of kings. Even the worldly kings do not hold as much significance as a member of Shura in the eyes of Allah Ta'ala does. And Hazur says one of the significance is that it is Majlis Shura who, members of the Majlis Shura, who then go on to elect the Caliph. हजूर इसी खुतबे की आखिरी चंद सत्रों में बयान फरमाते हैं, गर्ज शूरा की मेंबरी बादशाहों से ही नहीं बल्कि शहंशाहों की इज्जत और मर्तबे से भी बढ़कर है, इसलिए दोस्तों को ये फख्र जाहिर नहीं करना चाहिए। Who says that the true honor of being a member of Majlis Shura excels even the honor of King of Kings in this world, and friends of our community, members of our community should not let go of this honor to waste. और चाहे जान चली जाए उन्हें इजलास में हाजिर होने और इससे फायदा हासिल करने में कोताही नहीं करनी चाहिए। Even if their life gets lost, even if they lose their life, they should still try their level best not to skip on Majlis Shura. अल्लाह ताला हमारी जमात को इस अजीम शान नेमत से जो उसने 1300 साल के बाद दोबारा मुसलमानों को अता फरमाई है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा फायदा उठाने की तौफीक अता फरमाए। अल्लाह ताला give the members of our जमात the ability to benefit from this ni'mah, from this bounty, this blessing that Allah has given us after 1300 years. The reason I had selected these excerpts from the statements, from the writings and sayings of Hazrat Muslim Maud is because our own Majlis Shura election is going to be held in next few days. North Virginia Jamaat tried its level best to hold the first round, but it didn't work out. So they're going to re-announce the date and hopefully double up their efforts to bring these people. This message through this class is being recorded and will be sent, inshallah ta'ala, to every single MD household in this area. And I hope that this message resonates with them. That we are talking about the terms in which Hazrat Muslim Maud spoke of members of Shura. We are the body that are supposed to elect those members who will then go on to become part of Majlis. Imagine how much importance this role has that Allah has put on our shoulders. But unfortunately, many of our members take it for granted because they do not know the significance of this role that they have. Central Virginia Jamaat, inshallah ta'ala, I believe on the 9th of February after Zohr Salat will be having their Shura election. So those members of Central Virginia Jamaat who are eligible voters and can hear me now or hear this recording afterwards, I make this humble plea before you for the sake of Allah Ta'ala and for the sake of this Jamaat. Please say labbaik, come forward and discharge your God-given duties. Those who haven't paid their chanda, please take it seriously. Please pay. Allah has sent us Masih Maud alayhi salam in this day and age. If having accepted him, having become member of his Jamaat, if still money is our anchor and is keeping us away from doing our part, then we seriously have to think twice as to what exactly it is that we have benefited by accepting the promised Messiah. Most of us who are sitting here because we belong to the Jamaat of Masih Maud. My ancestors and your ancestors, they made sacrifices for Allah Ta'ala and for this Jamaat. And we are directly benefiting from their sacrifices. The fruit of their labor is being bestowed and showered upon us. So now it is our responsibility to make sure that we give back to the Jamaat in our person, through our efforts, through Chanda, and instill this message in our future generations. Otherwise, there is no guarantee that our future generations, our children, if we are not taking Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya seriously, then what's the guarantee that our children will? So I hope and once again sincerely pray and request to all those who can hear my voice, who can hear this message, please say the fact, please pay your chanda, please take part in Shura elections, which will be happening in 2 days. Wa akhiru dawana.